Gather round, everyone. Make yourself comfortable. You're listening to the Nordic Takedown, a Star Wars Unlimited podcast. We drop weekly episodes every Friday and have been doing so for 125 weeks in a row now. This is episode 125. My name is Viktor, and with me today, I've got Adam. I'm so humbled.
Hello. Glad to be here.
Yeah, this is the week end of the Galactic Championships. I mean, it's not really when we record it. That's
No.
why I stumbled on the words, but it will release Friday.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
it is the week when it happens, at least.
indeed. Indeed. And that is also the topic of the episode. We're going to talk about our expectations for the weekend. We're not in the Galactic Championships, neither of us, but
Sadly.
we are obviously interested still.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I am confident in that you're going to Berlin.
Yep, I've got tickets and room and everything.
So, like, for anyone going to Berlin, this tournament is very relevant, I would say.
Yeah.
Even though the drafting part you won't do much in Berlin because it's
Nope.
Premier and Eternal, but
Yeah.
like seeing which decks end up in the top 8 and like in day 2 is still going to be very, very relevant. It's going to be a very weird tournament to track
Yeah.
because you like there could be a deck that's not doing that well, but maybe the person 6-0'd the draft or 3-0'd the draft.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
which meant that it like tor- the
Torpedoes
score
into
was
the
yeah,
top.
like
Yeah. The decks that start on a really good standing might not be good at all.
no,
Like
no,
that
like
might be people that are just very good at draft, and then they've picked an awful meta call
yeah.
and drop like stones from then on.
So it's going to be very cool to follow, or maybe like maybe try to follow that. It might
Yeah.
be too hard to follow it. It depends how much time I guess you can invest, but and I'm probably at the hospital during the time.
Yeah.
but but it's going to be very interesting for sure.
That's one of the things we're going to get back to in a moment. But before we do that, we do our Cantina catch up as always. So, what have your swooing been like this week?
uh it's been a little bit of coaching, a bit of playing, a little bit of like drafting. We've
Mm.
mostly draft practiced with a team. It's also been like for me and Dylan, who's not going, the best way to be useful because we are not jamming the same amount of constructed games
Mm.
as the others. Uh, but um, uh, but yeah, that's basically what I've done SWU wise. Actually, been starting to play a little bit more, trying to find decks. I have bought the ticket to Berlin
Hmm.
um, in case it works out. So hopefully,
Yeah.
So and probably nothing will get banned by Galactic. So I think you can
No.
play anything until Berlin at least and be safe. So
Yeah. Don't. It doesn't feel like there's anything that would be on their ban radar really right now.
I think there might be, but I will leave that to after Galactic to see if that is the case.
Right. Okay.
So I don't like destroy any takes that are potentially hidden.
All right. Okay. Well, me myself, I've just been playing a lot of both drafts and Premiere, and just like you said, trying to find decks that I like and figure it out. And I've been surprised. I never thought I'd like playing Vader Yellow. It's been one of the most boring decks I could think of, but in this meta, it's actually there's an interesting puzzle there that has intrigued me quite a lot, and yeah, I've actually played a lot of Vader Yellow. It's weird to say, but yeah, that's what I've done.
I've also been tinkering a little bit with it, and then I still get sick of it. I I just can't enjoy playing pilot leaders.
Right.
There is something in its core, like because they flip on that stupid ship. I think the one I might enjoy the most is Kasuda because I think he is more interesting. Like because you more cases he's actually decent to go on ground. Uh,
I actually flipped Vader a lot on ground.
Yeah, but it's basically because your plan A is gone to the shitters uh, most of
I
the time.
guess, but
Like you
it's
prefer to
also
have it on a
like
big clone combo squadron. Like it's preferable.
obviously,
Yeah,
obviously, because you get two more ships out that
yeah,
way. But it's often when I don't have a Gerindon in the row,
yeah,
so that I either they play red or they play blue or they play both,
yeah,
and I can't win that turn by flipping,
yeah,
or if I expect them to be able to play some sentinel that will stop the Vader hit
yeah,
anyway. So there's quite a few chances where I'm just not going to take the chance, or I'm more I'm going to divide my arenas better if I flip on the ground.
yeah.
So I do I'd say up to a third of the time I flip to ground.
And like the pilot leaders are in here to stay apparently.
Mm.
Um, so it's just to get used to it, I guess. But
Yeah,
but I have tried to play it a little bit, and like I just no, it's just
yeah,
no, I can't. For like for a longer period of time playing it, I just can't enjoy it. Uh,
right, right.
that's like
But
it's
I
too
like
much of
what it.
a do you have it, do you don't have it kind of guessing game, and I'd like to be more trading oriented, which is hard.
Yeah, Vader isn't trading outside of his ambush units
No, and
often.
neither is any pilot leader usually unless they are facing each other.
Right, right. Yeah,
Yeah,
Luke is kind of built nowadays to face other pilot leaders, I guess. So he's more suitable for trading game. And always when I built Luke, I was always afraid of other pilots. So I always had to think about like how the opening units traded up and so on.
all right, yeah,
Yeah.
well,
I
yeah,
guess.
uh, that's what we've been doing at least.
Yeah. So let's get
Talk about
into
other people will be doing.
yeah. So let's begin by talking about the event and to some extent also the stream.
Yeah,
Like we were there last year, so we have some idea of because it's the same place. They are in the Venetian Convention Center again. I expect them to be in basically the same halls and same rooms.
yeah, yeah. That's what I
And
would expect too.
I mean, what do you think? What would they have kept the same, and what can we expect them to have improved on for this year?
So one thing, you're probably not gonna be able to buy tickets from for real cash. That was a problem.
That was a problem.
So I think that's gonna be removed. I also think there was something on with the side events on day one,
Yeah.
like when for us that then had a buy, like
Mhm.
that, like day zero, I guess they call it here with the Galactic intro, like
The last
yeah, last chance
chance
qualifiers.
qualifier. Yeah.
Um, Either they are gonna have nothing on that day because it's not counted,
Mm.
or they will have more dedication to the side events because that was super slow. It was opening very late. Oh, like it was very weird that day. So I think something to do with that. I also think they might have two stands for the prize wall,
I really hope they do.
if they are counting on the same amount of people being there. Uh,
I
I am
think
not
they
sure.
are. I
Yeah,
think they are counting on. Like I've heard so different takes on this. Some people think it's going to be bigger. Some think it's going to be smaller. I'd be surprised if it wasn't at least in the same ballpark.
yeah. I think around the same or a little bit smaller. That's what I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah, but nothing too significant.
No.
It was a bit over 3,000 visitors, I think, last year.
That's a number that I feel familiar with.
Yeah,
I have not checked to
no,
confirm.
me neither. But I'd be surprised if they weren't at least close to 3,000 this year as well in visitors,
Yeah,
like not in competitors, maybe.
no, yeah, yeah, not in competitors. I think it might have helped that they have this big regional ask thing on
Mm,
day two, like for the ones not making it. Um, but for the competitors to actually go there and try the last chance qualifiers, at least for the Americans.
mm,
So we'll see how much that will uh, lineup. Otherwise, I think it's going to be mostly the same.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. I don't think necessarily much more difference. Like they could, there was some unused space that they could do
Yeah.
more stuff with, but I don't expect them to do that.
I I hope they utilize the stage better. I
Oh
think the
yeah.
stage was very underutilized, and they had some plans to use the stage, but like
It
they were
was a very
supposed to.
nice stage.
Yeah, very very nice stage, and they were supposed to have like a welcoming ceremony, like an opening ceremony, but it just
Sure.
never happened. I hope they do something on that stage because that would be nice.
Yeah.
Um, I hope the stage remains the same because that was a really nice stage.
Yeah, you
Um,
actually got to sit on it, so
yeah,
and play.
I did. uh, also, I hope they do like the spectacle, like they have like artist row again. That was really
Mhm.
nice, and that they do like have these cosplay and like the Tie fighters and all that
Yeah,
the cool stuff.
I'm assuming that's gonna stay if the people felt like it was worth it last time, and I'm not sure the people doing it right, but I'm not sure how much they felt like it was used. I'm not sure.
I think I think it was perceived as a hit. Like if you look at the stream they did last year,
Yeah,
they feature it quite heavily and they talk about it in very positive terms. And everyone
and it
I've
probably will be there.
yeah, and like everyone I ever talked to about it liked that part of it a lot. So I hope they do like make it into a celebration of the game more than just a competition.
Yeah,
Like to have it like a convention for the game and the players of the game. On top of the competition. I
yeah.
hope for that.
Not
Um,
not impossible. Not
yeah.
impossible.
Um, did you ever watch the stream from last year at all?
Yeah, because we did actually go over your your
Oh
game.
yeah, we did
We did
that.
a
Yeah.
review. So yes, that, and I watched back. Like I was sitting at the stage watching it, of course, during the top eight
Mm,
when Philip was playing the final and stuff like that.
yeah.
So I watched a bit of it. I didn't watch all of it. There was like, I think, if I remember correctly, the stream was too wide on the sides with the side
Mm,
things,
mm,
and they wanted a more space on the screen for the gameplay,
yeah.
because I think that was one
The
small
HUD
critique.
was a little bit too
Yeah.
big. Yeah.
Otherwise, I think it was quite cool.
Yeah.
But I
I,
agree with it could have been more featured the actual game. Uh,
you could make that larger. Yeah. I watched most of it. I'm not sure I watched all of it. Are you going to watch it this year at all?
if I can,
Yeah. 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 Right.
if I can, I will try to watch. Uh, it is also in a weird time zone, and
Mm,
I am really like a fond viewer when it's live. I have a
right.
harder time watching things in reruns, like any finals. Like if it's already happened, it's already happened. It's not the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I agree.
um, so I will try to watch some, but it depends when I when I can,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
We'll probably try the top eight at least. I will somehow watch and consume, because that's it's always nice to sit there and think, I could have done that better. I should have been in the top eight. Like,
Yeah. I do have some hopes for the stream. I'm probably going to watch almost all of it.
that
And
makes
we're going to
sense.
get into more of that in a bit. But before that, I just hope that they feature more than just the gameplay. Like, there's quite considerable downtime in a normal stream between each round. And
Yeah,
what they did last year was that they tried to fill that with a fair amount of other games that they recorded. Like they always recorded two games and they tried to
yeah.
switch to
Backup
the
stream.
backup.
Yeah,
Yeah. But they didn't just switch to it live. They actually had it recorded and played some of it and made like they made actual choices, which is kind of cool. So like my game wasn't actually streamed live. They they broadcast the other, like, game two of my game, because they thought that was probably the more interesting one, I guess. And they, that kind of stuff, they did that all the time. But I would hope that they do, because they do have some great panels on, and it's really hard to get into those panels. I tried to get into a few last year, and they were just full. You couldn't get into them.
Yeah.
I really hope that they either record them and put them on the YouTube channel afterwards, or they actually switch to that in between rounds and stuff. There's especially one of the channels that I'm really interested in, and that would be the competitive play channel, because we have a lot of friends on that channel. On that podium. It's hosted by Emmy from the Nexus, and Thork is going to be on it.
Oh, that's the one he's going on. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and Troy from Eclipse, and Ibo from LXO, and who else was on that stream? Quite a few interesting people on that. I think there was at least one more people we know. Let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah, no, we don't know him, but Wu Ophir is
Oh,
going to
yeah,
be on it
yeah.
as well. Yeah.
People
So
know him in the space.
yeah, no, of him. I don't think I've ever talked to him.
No, I've
But
seen him live, but I haven't talked to him. I think
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
remember.
yeah. I did see him last year at Galactic's. Like, he was sitting over there playing, but yeah, I didn't ever say hi to him, I don't think. All right, so I'd love to be able to see those panels. Some of them are going to be more interesting than others, I guess. The judges panel is often very interesting, and yeah, I hope they put on those. They usually have like an announcement panel from the devs, and that was just, it wasn't recorded last year. I don't think there was any way for anyone that wasn't in that room to actually get more than the stories from it.
Yeah,
And that would be the thing you would put on the main stage in my mind. Like, that's one of the things you want everyone to be able to see, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, so is there yeah, maybe this is a good spot to go into. So we are going to, on the channel, I'm going to do like a watch party on our Discord channel. So if you're looking to watch the Galactics, the stream, you might as well do it through our channel, because we will put it on, stream it there, and just hang out, talk. Depending on how many people are actually watching, we might just listen and talk to each other while we're watching it. Or if there's a ton of people, maybe we'll do some kind of podium format for it and have some people uh, maybe add extra commentary. We will probably use some resources to pull up information and statistics while we're watching or between rounds and so on. So make an evening of it. And if you want to join us, just to be on the Discord. Link in the description for that if you're not on our Discord, and then just pop in whenever you like and have a watch with us. It'll be fun. Pop some popcorn,
Yeah.
you know.
And on the stream like that, like, or stream, well, what we call watch party,
Watch party.
that will be very interesting, because what we didn't mention was like what maybe announcements could happen. We are
Mm,
waiting for the announcement of the next coming sets. Like we
right. Yeah,
um that will be hype to see.
that will be hype.
It would be very non-hype if they don't spoil them, because then I would be afraid of things we don't even speak of.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but yeah, and if I can, I will try to join in on the watch party thing as
yeah.
well. But I can't commit any time.
No,
Uh,
we will have
actually,
some people. I know some people that will join us, and like, if there's a ton of people there, we will make sort of a podium with people that are in
allowed
the
to
know.
talk. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. So that not everyone is talking in each
yeah,
other's
yeah,
mouth. That wouldn't make sense. And depending on how good the commentary is, I believe that it's going to be good. It was very good last year. I actually think that the commentators did a great job last year.
Last year they actually had a former League of Legends caster
Yeah, yeah.
commentating.
The
So
Ice
Dua
Cave
or
podcast
yeah,
guys, they are quite knowledgeable about Star Wars Unlimited, even though they aren't necessarily in the competitive scene that much, but they have a podcast about Star Wars Unlimited, and they are very good at commentating League of Legends and other games. So they did a great job. And then they had Dan, main deck Dan as well. And he's also like all of them
yeah.
are more on the casual game side than the competitive game side, but they're all big content creators for the game and they are well versed in the game. So they had actual good people on there. And I think it might be even better this year. I don't know for sure, but I know that they have been talking a lot to Tim from the Titan from McClunky Gaming about streaming, and I'd say McClunky are probably the best streamers out there right now. They are putting on the highest level of streams for the game right now. So having at least talking to him is a good sign, even if they might not use his people. They get some pointers, maybe. I'm not 100% there, but I'm very happy that they are in talks with him
Yeah.
and Clarius, Claire, the two of them. Yeah. So I expect the stream to be really good this year. But if for some reason it's weird, maybe we'll commentate. We'll just
Yeah.
mute it and commentate ourselves. I don't know. Right, moving on. What do we think and expect from the meta at the Galactic Championships? Do we have any predictions? What will be the most played decks and formats and concepts? Which cards are we afraid of or happy to see?
Oh, so many predictions in this ballpark. I think probably maybe it's probably going to be a neutral card that is in both sides, but like
Mm,
the most played legendary, at least I think, is going to be Pre-Vizsla and Chimera.
yeah.
Um, that is those are I love those cards, to be honest.
Mm,
Like completely clear. Like I love that they actually printed like a set of really good legendaries in this set,
mhm.
pushed it a bit, but not in a weird way.
Yeah,
Maybe it could have been one to hero side, but
yeah, yeah.
hero has had their
They got last set.
like they have had a lot of high notes heroes for a
Mm,
long time,
mm,
so
mm.
it's not that weird either.
No.
Um, Even though we all miss Luke. Uh,
Yeah,
but
Bo Katan is good, but she's not Luke.
she's not Luke. That's for sure. But other than that, like I think the meta will. I think most people have a very good grasp on what the meta will be.
Yeah,
I think there might be some team coming with a surprise deck or
I'm
two
sure of it.
that maybe succeeds and maybe fails. Like
Exactly.
um,
100%.
I think it's still gonna be quite a wide meta because there
Mm,
is like multiple decks in the same archetypes, even though the archetypes are quite
yeah,
small. Like
yeah.
you are going to, the most representative deck, I think, is going to be CAD blue,
Do
because
you think that's the same for both Galactic's Day One and the Last Chance
I
qualifier?
think the
Will
last chance qualifier might not have it as the most,
Mhm.
just because it's not that easy to pilot into the pilot decks.
All right.
Um, but I think when you are really good at the deck, that's when you can beat the pilot decks as well.
Okay.
Um, so some people will probably have tested the pilot decks and felt that they have a higher chance of executing those decks correctly
Right.
and have a higher chance to higher roll and go like 5-6-0 with those decks.
Okay.
Um, that's just my feeling. But it could also be the case that it is the same in both. Like it's mostly cat blue on both main and open. Uh, that's because I think you could also play Talsin, but it's just a worse CAD in most situations. So I think most people will just have said, let's do CAD if we are
Right.
considering Talsin. Then there is like a bunch of different space pilot decks or space aggro decks. You can go
Right.
heroic with Ezra and Grief,
Hmm.
and then you have the Luke, Boba, and um, Vader. I would say all those are in like sort of the same category, but they play differently.
Hmm.
Um, so they will take a lot of share from each other.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
and then you have the blue green villainy shell. I think that's those three big one, um, and that's going to be
I'd say
Quet.
blue
Or
green heroic shell is pretty strong as well.
I would say there is.
Ahsoka is the second most played
I
deck
think
on
yeah,
Kara right now.
I think blue green hero, and I think it's Ahsoka that it has any chance to do anything really strong. Sadly, I think that for example Leia and new Luke will not stand a chance. Uh,
Definitely not new Luke. I think
uh,
he will say a fair amount of play,
yeah,
but I don't think he's got it. No.
so I think you're correct. It's those four, even though I think the blue green heroic will probably be the least featured. Even though I'm not saying it's the worst,
Mm.
but it's probably going to be the least featured of those four. Um,
I think because here's where I think a little bit different from you. I think the hype around CAD has been so strong that I think he will be definitely the most played deck in the last chance qualifier. I think people might just not understand that they're not very good with it and just bring it because like it's what everyone talks about, and
yeah,
I guess I've been practicing a bit, and and I did good at my locals and whatnot. But I think in the in the actual day one of the GCs, I think people are looking to counter CAD blue.
yeah, or have decided that it's not possible.
I
Like,
mean, is it not possible?
um, that would be my take. That
Really?
well, it's possible, but I don't think it's possible to do it good enough. Like,
All right, all right.
I don't think you're doing it in a consistent enough way to feel like to give up other stuff. Uh, that's unless someone has found some cards that really sway a matchup. Like
Yeah,
since I have not like invested enough time
yeah, yeah.
into it, um, but I have been playing a bit of CAD lately, and like after side, the
Mm.
space matchup is so much better.
Right, right.
Um,
Absolutely.
and if, for example, for a chance that the space decks were not on the radar,
Mm.
I think they would smash cats if
Yeah.
cats were like
Oh, yeah, yeah.
not prepared. But since the meta feels fairly predictable because
Hmm.
we've had it so long,
Mm.
um, I think most top players, at least, will
Yeah.
know how to build a deck to feature around all these things. But there might be lines, for example, with Ahsoka that you
Mm.
just I have this line that he can't stop,
Yeah.
and I'm just gonna go for it, and then maybe it works 2 out of 3 times, like stuff like that. Uh,
I, so, 'cause I think that the space decks is what makes gives puts CADs in the real weird position. Like you said, they've had to dedicate the sideboard to be able to handle space decks, and I think they can quite. I think they can handle Boba Lake Country quite well now. I think after sideboard,
Boba
they
Lake is one of the easier, I would say, of
yeah,
the space
I'd
decks.
say Boba Lake is probably done. I don't think Boba Lake will be doing well in this Galactics because sideboards will take care of him. Um, I do think, however, that Vader remains even though it's significantly better, it remains very much up to it comes down to pilot skill. A really good Vader pilot will play better than a really good, than a less good CAD pilot, and vice versa.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I think equal strength. I really don't know. It might be up to draws in that because it's even after sideboard. I think CAD is not hugely favored into Vader. I think it's a 50-50.
Kind of like the problem or the charm, if you want, depending on how you want to see it, with like decks like Vader, decks like Luke, um, when you're playing the more, you are the reactive player as CAD in those
Mm,
matchups. It
mm,
actually depends a bit more on your draws than the opponent in a way. Like
mm.
if you brick, they will capitalize on it. If they brick, you might not always be able to.
Yeah,
Uh, but depends on how decks are built, and like I can see how some people would go to the idea that they think they can beat CAD consistently with, and I think some of the people also decides to do it because they absolutely don't want to play the mirror.
yeah, yeah. And I think that's another one because a lot of people will not play the decks that consistently beat CAD because of the mirror.
Yeah,
So Colossus, Mando Colossus
yeah,
consistently just manhandles Vader, but the
yeah,
mirror is miserable, and it has a quite a large portion of miserable matchups. For instance, Boba Lake. Boba
yeah,
Lake is just not winnable for that deck,
yeah, yeah.
and I think a lot of those decks will see a lot less play than they should. Uh, Granted that everyone thinks CAD is going to be like the main deck in the room, but just because of how miserable the mirror can be, even like Krennic handles CAD very well.
I'd say no,
You don't think so?
no. Uh, I think that's a take that people have. I think Krennic can give CAD a run for his money. The problem is, I think it takes too much effort for Krennic, like
Mm,
to get that high cost play,
right.
um, which means that CAD can put pressure. That's a matchup where CAD can
Yeah.
put pressure, right?
Yeah.
So meanwhile, you're killing off your own stuff, he's hitting your base.
Mm,
And then you play a big unit, and CAD is full with removal,
mm,
good removal,
mm,
which means that unless you get like I would say a really good uh, Visla,
right.
I think he is the key. Like if you get a
Yeah.
really good
Yeah.
Visla, uh, that's the one that can win you the game. But I think that,
There are
yeah,
situations where a Chimera will do it
yeah,
as well, but generally speaking, it's a Vizsla you need. Yeah.
because I think what I've seen, and now I'm not talking about Enigma, just playing on Karabast.
Mm, mm, mm.
I tend to feel that the CADs have more late game than the Krennics. Like they
In
have
a way,
heavier and better. Like because they
yeah,
have the
because they
red
have
color.
red.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have the red color.
Um,
So they've got access to Nine Sister and
and devastated.
Devastator.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and Planetary Bombardment
yeah. So
if they play it. They
I
don't
think
always.
for the Krennic sides, their goal is to get into the late game with not too much damage on the board, so they can play a Walker,
Right.
because
Yes.
that's how you start to win the
Pre
value.
into Volker. That's what
Yeah.
they want to do.
Uh, that said, like as you said before, it's going to be a lot down to player skill.
Hmm.
Um, so a really, really good Krennic player will beat a not as good CAD player, even if the matchup
Mm.
isn't. Because I think with these value-oriented decks, like CAD is, like Quinlan was, like
Yeah.
Anakin was,
Yeah.
uh, all those decks fall completely apart if the pilot doesn't make the right decisions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're supposed to trade well, and
Yeah.
if you that's why, like for example, like a mediocre CAD will get smashed by a really good Talsin,
Yeah.
because
Oh yeah. Yeah.
CAD will do a misplay, and Talsin is the best deck in the world to abuse misplays,
Oh
uh,
yeah.
especially when you're fighting on her arena, the ground.
Yeah.
um, so even though, let's say, I think that CAD is the best deck, it's not going to have that insane amount of win percentage, because I think it's also easier to pilot the other decks. And they will
As
also focus more on him than he can focus on everything.
and that's when it comes to what I've been my the goal of this. I think blue green hero is going to be seeing a ton of play in Galactic Day One. I think a lot of
So
people are
not open qualifier, like
no,
the day.
no, no,
Yeah,
Day One,
yeah.
because I think a lot of really, really skilled players don't want to bring the CAD deck because they think everyone is teching against it. So they
Because they
want
are.
to,
Like,
they are.
yeah,
So they want to play the deck that can fight with CAD, especially if CAD is having to sort of diversify what it's good at.
Yeah.
And I think CAD is definitely favored in the into blue green hero. Yes, it is. But I don't think, especially against Ahsoka, I don't think it's by that much. It's not, I think I'd say 55-60% into it.
Yeah, and I think like if it would have higher than that, it would
Mm,
just be completely sad. It would
yeah,
be
yeah.
completely misprint.
Mm,
It might end up be that it is a misprint, but I agree there will be a lot of it has a lot of 60%, 55 to 60% matchups.
mhm.
It's not like these Django matchups
No,
where
exactly. Yeah,
everything was 80.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's not on that level. Absolutely not.
But if you look like something like Vader, they have 80 into some, and then they have 20 into some
Yes.
others. So
Yes.
it's some decks are more swingy in
Yes.
matchups, and CAD is probably the most stable you have out there.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people thinks that blue green hero has, especially the Ahsoka and to some extent the Leia, has really favorable matchups into a lot of the other field, and it's not bad enough into CAD that they're not willing to bet in on it, especially since they might be betting on CAD having to diversify too much.
Yeah. Um, I don't think that's a bad bet. Like I don't think not. I think especially if you let's say you don't have 2,000 hours
Mm,
to prep. I
hmm.
think it's fairly wise. Like because if you're playing, let's say you're playing the most popular deck, you also
Right.
need to be the most prepared on that deck. Like
Yeah.
you need to be prepared for mirrors. You need to be prepared for all the different matchups that you're gonna face,
Hmm.
because that would be like a wider spread on what you're gonna face, right? Um, if you are playing, for example, let's go Mando Colossus.
Right.
Uh, you know that most likely, let's say, like you might play CAD twice,
Hmm.
so you're gonna prep hard for that one, and everyone else will know that they are probably gonna play CAD twice.
Yeah.
If you don't, oh, hooray, positive. Like that's how
Mm.
most people feel, unless you have like found something that beats him dead down to the water. But I don't think there is like this 90% beating CAD.
No,
Uh,
no, 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 no.
um, so like, but they will be very focused on that matchup, and then they will maybe kind of ignore some of the others because, to be fair, you might not face a single Bobby Lake country in this tournament, or a
Yeah.
Vader Yellow. I think maybe Vader Yellow, but like there are some decks that it's not worth putting your time on, but everyone will think it's worth putting the time on CAD.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. No,
And
yeah.
I think that's what you alluded to with the blue green hero
Exactly.
shell. Like, not too many maybe bothers to practice into Ahsoka that much, or
Right.
actually like get to know how that deck works properly compared to the one who is actually honing in on the
Yeah.
Ahsoka.
And I think honing in on the Ahsoka slash Leia decks is not necessarily that hard for a lot of people because there are many similarities to the OB blue shell from last set. It's just not playing the force package.
Yeah,
It's the play style is very similar. It's just switched the force package to a non-force package, which in one way makes it a little bit stronger
yeah.
because you have 2 more HP on your base.
I think yes, very, and I do think there are good like Leia decks, Ahsoka decks out
Mm,
there. I think it's just in Leia's case, there is a little bit too much Vader
yeah,
out there.
yeah, yeah.
Some of these decks that, like, if you're a ground-based deck and you need to like focus on how to deal with CAD,
Mhm.
you might not have the room that you need to actually give yourself a chance against the space decks because they are disgusting for you. Like
Yeah.
Talsin hates space decks. Um, Leia hated space decks. she
Hmm.
could deal with Boba, but like the Vader like swarm, like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
so massive. Um, so
yeah. There's a huge difference. That's also a thing. Like preparing to handle Boba is not the same as preparing to handle Vader. They're very different when you're trying to counter them.
yeah,
They're doing similar things in a way, but in such different ways that it's very different to counter them.
yeah, it's different to counter swarm slash
Mm.
big ships like
And burn and burn.
burn. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be very interesting. There will be a lot of different things played,
Hmm.
and I do think that we will have like fairly diverse
Yeah.
meta. I don't think we will have four of the same deck in the top eight. I don't think
No,
so. Maybe three.
me neither.
Maybe three. Um,
Probably not though.
I think maybe three. It all depends on what the like when you see what the teams have brought. Like
Yeah. No, that's true.
uh,
That's true.
like or just the players, good players. Like what are you bringing? Like looking at which players are on what, and then you can start imagining. Um, but
What?
yeah, you
No, you go.
no. But there might be a little bit of a swing because of the draft. That something
Right?
sticks
Yeah.
up a little bit higher because you know,
They got a three win start.
yeah,
Yeah. What will be the surprise then? Like, obviously, you can't talk about what Enigma is bringing, but then if I
yeah.
know Enigma correctly, they are rarely, if ever, pulling things out of their asses. They are just making the things in the meta the best way. Like that's usually their mo. But
The,
there are a lot of different teams out there that are doing completely different things and just trying to come up with novel things and just have the surprise. What will be the Lando Lake or uh, Kylo Red of this set, do you think?
it's very hard to say, but I think we might see someone sneak past very far with a Thrawn yellow
Yeah,
or something like that.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
I do think maybe if someone finds, as you have talked about a little bit, like get a Kylo going,
yeah, yeah,
because, but it feels more. The more space there is, the more unlikely it feels with the Kylo. uh,
yeah, yeah,
kind of a little bit
absolutely.
with the Thrawn as well, because the space really rushes them. But
Mm.
I I would like to see if someone like managed to break some like Kasuda,
Yeah,
uh, or
yeah.
or like what do we more have like once Sebulba, some of the forecast super aggro that is actually like maybe preying on all the pilot decks,
Hmm.
like because and they are like screw CAD,
Hmm.
I'm gonna beat the rest. I'm taking my losses with CADs, and I'm beating the other stuff. Uh,
Yeah.
that is an interesting approach to me. Uh, that will not win you the tournament, most likely, but it could
No.
get you quite far.
Yeah, I think like the Thrawn yellow deck, it has. I don't know how aware people are of the Helgite combo.
It's
Uh,
disgusting
it's disgusting.
if
The
you,
first time I saw it, it just took me completely by surprise.
and sometimes, which is the hard part with playing against Thrawn, is you just look at it and you see it coming. And
Hmm.
there's like, I can't do anything
Yep.
about this because my hand is not prepped for this. Uh,
No, exactly.
this is just gonna hurt.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was playing around because he had obviously what's the name of the guy? Um, the first time I saw it, he had Axvos.
Yeah, yeah, of course, yeah.
And I was thinking, of course, he's going to be playing
Emergency
the
power.
emergency powers. So I was trying to rip emergency powers out of his hand. Uh, so I was tapping down blue cards to be able to rip it, and I
Yeah,
tapped the blue card with hold for questioning, and looked at the hand, and there was an emergency powers there, so I ripped it, and I was happy. And then I said, wasn't there a hail gust there as well?
yeah,
That's weird. Why was there a hail gust there? He placed the hail gust, and then it occurs to me.
yeah,
And I had already spent three of my resources to rip the
yeah.
emergency powers. There was nothing I can do, and he hits my face for 27 damage or something like that. I can't remember how much it was, but yeah, it's 12 times 2, 24 plus 3.
Yes,
It's
something nasty.
25 at least 25 damage, you know? It's just all right.
It's a reasonable amount of damage.
Yeah. No, yeah. And so that's something I agree. That's something. And I just, I haven't seen any Kylo being played really, which is weird.
I've tried it myself a little bit.
Yeah. Kylo Red or Kylo Green?
Yeah, Data Vault
Data
has
Vault.
been
Yeah.
my go-to, but not seen anyone on the red, however.
Why is that? Blue red in this set.
I would assume that when you're thinking blue red, you first look at CAD, and then maybe some people are like, oh, if I don't want to play that, it's not worth playing anything else. But I think also there is like, if I'm going real control, isn't it Daedra I'm playing? Or maybe Thrawn? Like if Thrawn red works too.
Yeah.
And then Talsin. So I think maybe it's just a little bit looked over.
We talked about a
Or it
leader
just
that
doesn't
has
work.
built in both draw, built in Sentinel, and built in a wing con.
Yeah.
Like it is in the way it's constructed, it is able to do like a combo win. It's able to do fairly aggressive stuff with some of the upgrades. It's a very flexible ability, right?
Yeah. So there is actually only two answers to potential answers. That either someone has found a build that is really, really good, or he just has absolutely zero chance against CAD. So people are just not playing it.
Yeah.
It's either or. Like,
yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I'm thinking
because
like
everyone starts their testing against CAD. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I think the two new upgrades in this set for a red blue Kylo, they're both really good. One of them is not that good into Kylo, sorry, CAD, but Duracell plating is good into everything else than CAD.
yeah.
And there's the one that draws the card, the cybernetic upgrades or something.
Yeah. Don't remember the name, but yes.
Yeah, cybernetic something, and it's both of them are blue, and both of them are good.
Yeah.
And then you got the whistling birds in red.
Yes, whistling birds. Yeah.
Like there are interesting. I haven't even tried this stuff.
No.
I'm just theory crafting right on my head, top of my head here. I'm thinking at least people should be trying this.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe people have, and it's like you said, maybe it's just absolute bollocks bad, or it's a well kept secret.
Yeah. It's. I feel like it's either or.
Yeah. All right. Enough yapping about all of our theory crafting
takes.
here. What is going to win then? What is the top 8 looking like, and what is winning?
Like Tulsin wins all this big stuff, right?
Yeah.
So no, I don't think so. I would say I think it's CAD or something that we don't know of.
CAD or something completely
Yeah.
different for winning.
Yes, for winning. Like either someone comes for surprise or then actually CAD. I feel like CAD is too good to not have some of the really good player to actually reach that point. Or someone found something that we haven't seen.
Yeah.
A little bit like Lando.
Yeah. I 100% agree. Only that I just don't think CAD is winning it. I just don't think CAD is winning it. I think it's likely that the winner is going to be something we just haven't seen. That's my hot take here. Something that is coming out of left field, or something we have seen but just not thought of. Like I haven't even begun thinking about what Cass Data Vault would look like in this set.
Yeah.
Or Akbar Data Vault. Come on, I don't think that's the thing though, because I know Ollie has abandoned it, and if Ollie has abandoned it, it's probably not good.
Yeah, I think yeah, maybe something new will take it. I think it's likelier. I think that there is something really, really haunting me, thinking that it might be a Vader, it might be a Boba,
Mm,
a Luke, but I'm just not gonna say that because I really don't want it to happen.
yeah.
Like a pilot leader winning Galactics would be a travesty for the game.
I I'd be super surprised if in top eight we don't see a CAD. I'm pretty sure CAD is going to make top eight,
Yeah,
and I'm very sure that Vader is going to make top eight. If I had to say two decks that I feel very confident are going to go into top eight, I'd go CAD and Vader. Those are the two ones I think.
I think that's what I would put
CAD
too.
CAD because of the matchup spread,
Yeah,
and Vader because of the amount of pilots that have the kind of experience to take something reliably to top eight here. Like people have been playing Vader Yellow for so long, and some of those pilots have are so good with it.
yeah,
Like like the good pilots think that the Vader Boba DV matchup is favorable for Vader.
yeah,
And I don't think that when I try it.
yeah,
When I try it, I just struggle so bad into that matchup.
yeah,
And even like Vader pilots that are really good consistently actually beat Luke pilots, which is just shouldn't be
that
possible,
should
right?
not be possible. Yeah,
Yeah. So the really good ones, the difference between a decent Vader pilot and a really good one, it's kind of like with Sabine, right?
yeah, yeah,
Like everyone can play a Vader yellow deck and do fine, you know? But the ones that are really good with it, like um, Carlos, the Yoda killer, and Arthur that won London,
yep,
and Alec Drinkwater that came second in the Nexus Invitational. These pilots have been playing Vader Yellow for so long, and they're so good with it. I think that makes it very certain that at least one of those guys will make it to top eight. But then when you're in top eight, you know, it's not your skill winning the Galactics, is it?
it is like the brackets matters a lot. Like
Yeah,
less when you have a very generic deck, but
right, right.
many decks have these. At least if you go back to last set, every deck had a horrific matchup, and if you could see that going to the other side of the bracket, you could like,
Yeah,
oh, I'm probably reaching finals here.
yeah,
Then, and that one actually has his bad matchup there, so I'm probably gonna miss it, and then I'm win. Um,
yeah.
we don't know really about that and for this set yet, uh, but yeah, the bracket matters. The bracket
It does.
matters. Where in,
And this is why I don't really see Vader winning it all, because they have such bad matchups.
it might be the case. I think for me, if we take the top eight, I think we will see one Vader.
Mm,
I don't think we see more than one. I
no,
think we see
probably not.
one. I think we're gonna see one Ahsoka. That's my
Yeah,
take.
probably. Yeah,
Uh, and then we're gonna see one blue green villainy.
yeah,
If
at
it's
least.
if it's Krennic or don't really care.
No, yeah.
One of that, and then it will be, and that's three decks. I do think we're gonna see unless there is something new, unless
Mm,
two three cats.
that's what you think. Yeah,
Yeah. I just think the deck is so generic and strong. It's a
right.
little bit like Han 2 last set. Just that I and I think just that people thought not last set but last year. Uh, just that people were dumb and didn't think Taliesin was better. Didn't figure that out. And if people had done that enough, there would have been more Taliesins in the top eight. Or with less jet lag. But uh, but no. So I think that's gonna be, and then something more will always slip in, like
Yeah,
maybe a Boba, like maybe a Luke,
yeah.
uh, or some surprise stuff. There could also be more than one blue green villainy. It could be all these surprise stuff. But those four, CAD, one blue green villainy, one Vader, and one Ahsoka, I'm pretty sure that's gonna happen.
So you don't believe in the Colossus Mandalorian at all?
It could happen, but I wouldn't bet on it reaching top 8. It could go far, but I don't bet on it reaching top 8 without a very good draft performance, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. No, I tend to agree with that. I don't think the deck is fraudulent. I don't think it's a fraud. I did
No,
originally because I thought like the win con of the deck was just anti-synergetic with the deck.
yeah,
But in the end, I think the deck does something different and it does it real well. And it's kind of broken in a sense to have
yeah,
a control deck that has that hand size. It's just
yeah,
crazy. It's just, but it's you need to know what you're doing when you build it, and you need to build it completely correctly, and you need to dodge your bad matchups.
yeah. I think, and it's just like any control deck in the sense that the more people play against it, the harder you're gonna get.
Hmm.
Because I think it has a fairly linear game plan.
Yep.
If we can uh, talk about it like that, and like
Hmm.
if you just remove his stuff, most decks can actually kill him because he can't play blast until 10 resources.
Right.
So, for example, I played a bit Talsin because I love Talsin. It's just a fun deck. Just you can't really lose to it
No, I
because you
think.
have the 2 extra rounds compared to a blue-red villainy to
Mhm.
actually kill him.
Yeah. Yeah. And Talsin is so quick when it needs to be. Unlike Cad, who isn't that quick.
Yeah,
like Cad is nowhere near as quick as
but it's
Talsin can
very
be.
good at denying you have units on the board.
True.
Especially if
True.
you like the downside of that deck, if we're going to talk about, is that it plays under curve
Right. Right.
because you need one resource when you claim to
Mm.
draw the
Hmm.
card.
Hmm.
Um, and so basically all decks have an easier way trading with just that. If you take just a Mando deck, it's
Yep.
easier to trade with that deck than any other deck because it always plays under curve. Um,
Yep.
I think,
Until the very end of the game. Yeah.
yeah, until the very end, yeah. And I think it definitely preyed on people not knowing in the beginning, like I need
Yeah.
to go base, and if you leave some of his units behind, it doesn't matter that you're 15 damage ahead when he's playing 2 aggressive negotiations for 20 damage each. Like that doesn't
Yeah.
matter. So you need to actually keep the Mando off the board. Uh,
Completely. Yeah.
it's like he is a control deck, but you need to control the board.
Yeah.
So you're
And
both
that's
playing
that's
control.
my initial take on why it was so bad. Because
Yeah,
it wasn't able. How is it going to stick the unit to win in the end?
yeah,
I mean, as long as you're just controlling, fine, maybe you're good at that. But how are you going to stick a unit in the end? And against some decks, he's just not going to be able to.
yeah,
Like, how is he sticking a unit against the Krennic deck or a blue green villain of any kind?
yeah,
He's not. And he just can't win against Boba because
yeah,
Boba will just burn him. And he probably won't win against like the more reasonable fast decks, like we talked about Talsin. I think you could have a pretty good time against an Ezra maybe
yeah,
because Ezra needs to build the board to be able to win, and you're probably praying. Obviously, you prey on Cad, but I think you're probably preying fairly well on some of the blue green heroic decks as well, right?
probably. I have not played the deck enough myself. It is not that easily piloted, uh,
No,
since it is more of a control deck. It reminds you a little bit about Jin,
yeah,
from last set, but like uh, playing on the curve is a downside. It is just is.
it is, it is,
Um,
it is.
but it is a fun deck, and I think it's like,
Mm. Some people are going to play it.
yeah, some people will play it like you're not gonna run into too many mirrors. Like maybe one if you make it far total.
Mm,
Like
mm.
unless you're unlucky, there is always like the persons that get to play 3 in a row of one deck that is 5% of the meta. Like
Yeah.
there are always those sad stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only time when it's not like weird is because you have gotten yourself to a draw bracket, and then you can't be sad that you're facing control.
No. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
But yeah, I think it's going to be a very diverse meta, and there is a lot of viable decks to play that you can go far with. And even if you have the best deck, you have to perform in the drafts. Otherwise, you're
Yeah.
not making top 8.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can say what you want about that as a format, but that's just the case in this
That is the
Galactics.
format we're playing, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's going to be it then. We have something surprising is going to win it unless CAD wins it.
Yeah.
That's our consensus. And the top 8 will contain CAD and Vader and probably something more.
Yeah. No, and Ahsoka and a blue-green villain.
Yeah.
That's at least my take. I think that's going to
I'm
fit
not
in there.
too sure about blue-green villain because I think the green color is just not there right now.
They have Latswasi
They do.
and the
They do.
Wushwask Walker. I think it's some
They
good
do.
cards.
They do. They do. Yeah, I think if any blue-green villain is making it, it's Krennic, right?
I think so, but I can also see a world where someone found a very good Aura Sing deck.
Yeah, true. True.
Um,
Aura is also
it
Aura,
is a
and
decent
Aura is
leader.
really. But the thing, Aura is reverse CAD in that sense. She's really good into Vader,
Yeah,
and really crap into Boba.
yeah. And if it is as you said, like the Boba might not be played as much, which is that is a hot take because people love Boba. Like
Yeah, they do.
Boba
They
has
do.
been played tons, even though he has been crap.
Yeah.
To be honest, like a really crappy
Yeah.
deck, and he's still been one of the most popular decks in the events. So, and he's not that bad.
No, yeah. No, he's certainly not
No.
that bad.
So,
and with the rise of Vader, he's better.
yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be a very interesting tournament,
Yeah.
nonetheless.
Yeah,
it's gonna be very interesting how they are gonna do the draft. Interesting as well to watch.
Yeah. I'm super excited about this weekend, and I hope a lot of people wants to join me for the watch party. Yeah, I think that's it for today, right?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yes. So thank you for listening, and may the force be with you.